Hi, Charlene. My sound is- Ah. Hi. Hi, Lisa.
Good morning or afternoon or wherever the heck we're coming from. Hi, Deanna.
Morning. Afternoon.
How are you, Deanna?
I'm great. How are you, Jesse?
Good.
I can't see you.
Pardon?
I can't see you.
My video's not working?
I don't know. Just hang on.
Oh.
No, it's
Wait.
on.
There you are. There you are.
Perfect. Oh, this will be fun.
Hi,
Let's see.
Kim. Hi, Kim.
I love that Kim actually turned her camera on. When I was talking to her yesterday, she said she was going to keep it off and the whole time, and I was laughing so hard at her. It's always fun.
I will be turning it off, Jesse, just so you know. Although, can you see my roots very bad in this light?
No, not at all.
Hannah, we've got Charlene, Lisa. Perfect, you guys. Okay, we're gonna give everyone just a couple more minutes to get in before we get the class started. It's a really fun class. It's, we've got an hour and a half for the presentation. I want to dedicate the last 20 minutes to an open Q&A. So any questions that you guys think you are going to have during the class itself, I do encourage you to write them down. You can drop them in the chat. We can try and keep up with them that way. But just kind of have a way to ask them, because a lot of times during the classes too, we end up answering the questions as we go. So I do encourage everyone to, anything that you think we haven't touched on or anything you want more information on, make sure you have a little piece of pen and paper there so we can write it down and go for it. So we'll just give everyone a couple extra minutes to log in. And Deanna, this is your second Crown class. Are you excited?
Yes, definitely. Yes. So excited about the crown.
Have you gotten your hands on the retail line yet?
No.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna die.
I know. I need to get it. I know.
Really do. It is absolutely fabulous. And I had to hide it away to keep myself from using it on absolutely everybody, because I've been using it on absolutely everybody, and especially any client who's an extension client coming in. And I'm like, you need to have this product in your hair. You're gonna love it. And I'm like, oh. So it is absolutely to die for.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah. So excited.
Well, it's unlike anything that we've ever seen before, even with the crown system itself. This really is standing itself completely above the rest. And there hasn't been any changes to the smoothing industry for so long.
Mhm.
It had been the same thing for years and years and years, and a lot of people were starting to stray away from it because they weren't enjoying the environmental impact of it. So the crown really stepped everything up above the rest and has given us something completely revolutionary and different, which I absolutely adore.
Yeah, me too. We need it. Oh,
Yes, I do. And especially because I don't know about everyone, but summer is coming, which means humidity and frizz, and especially those of you in Ontario and Manitoba where you actually have lakes, it is a whole other world. And all my clients are now traveling to Mexico, so they really need it. Fabulous. Okay, we'll give everyone just one more second here and then we'll get started.
I'm gonna mute.
Perfect. Amanda's here, Megan's here. It's gonna be good. So, okay, so little housekeeping for you guys. I'm just gonna reiterate this. I'm gonna kind of keep everyone muted until we get to the end of the presentation for the live Q&A. I have the attention span of a flea circus. So sometimes when I get interrupted partway through a presentation, I have an extremely hard time bringing myself back to what I was talking about. And then I just end up circling the airport with random stories for about 45 minutes. So that's not really fun for us. So during the presentation, we're going to see a few videos. I am a big fan of branding, so I love sharing these videos with you guys. I'm going to give you all the product information. I'm going to show you part of a live demonstration. I'm going to show you what to expect and what to look for when you are doing your live applications. I'm going to go through 3 different application techniques with you. And anything you guys would like to know more about at the end with the live Q&A, please ask, okay? And we will go through one of my favorite parts towards the end, which is pricing and marketing. Because I think for some of us who have not worked with smoothing systems in the past, this is an important thing to really kind of sit down and talk about what to expect for pricing. And especially the Crown has done a very beautiful thing where they have even broken down what to look for back bar charging. Because that is one thing that a lot of people are confused about, is what is my service cost versus what is my actual cost of the service itself. So the Crown has done a beautiful job of offering us that. Plus they did it in Canadian dollars, which makes me extremely happy. Love that, because a lot of times it's in US, very different story. Canada versus the US, we are friends, but we are not equals when it comes to what we bring in and what we pay versus what they pay. So a little bit about myself. My name is Jesse Marriott. I am a stylist in Red Deer, Alberta. I have over 10 years experience with smoothing systems. You know, I used to be a huge fan of a main one that we used to bring into Canada. I used to actually smuggle it. And then over the last few years, we really shied away from smoothing systems within our salon. Reason being, I did not like what it was doing to me environmentally. Every time I would do a smoothing system, I would find that my throat would hurt for a couple of days. I could really feel the fumes going into me. I was concerned for my clients. They were like, my eyes are burning, you know, things like this. So that was a bit of a concern for me. And then when I started exploring other chemical smoothing systems or smoothing systems on the market, A, I did not like the one main ingredient and everything was formaldehyde. And B, I did not like that there really wasn't a lot of education. So that is one area that I am going to tell you guys where we are really going to separate ourselves from the other brands in the market right now too, where we are going to have education. Once you guys have embraced this product and brought it into your salon, you will always have me in your back pocket. I am always able for you guys to reach out and contact me via your sales reps, via Instagram, anything like that. I am literally always here for you guys to support you. And the other thing that I love, and that has really separated the Crown apart from any other smoothing system on the market, is we are not a one bottle fits all company. We are giving you options depending on what the client's hair needs. And to me, this has been so huge because with other brands, it's one bottle for everybody. But as we know, not everyone's hair is equal. Not everyone's hair is the same history. So with us, we're giving you the opportunity to customize your service and what system you're going to use based on what the client's hair is, what the client's hair history is, and what the client needs. And I love that. I think that has just been something absolutely incredible. And number one, we have said no to formaldehyde. There is zero formaldehyde in our system. Zero, zero, zero. And when you're talking to your clients, this is so important to reiterate to them. Instead, we are using an AquaCore technology made of 5 smart molecules where we are turning back the time on the hair. And I'm going to really dive into that with you guys here in a moment. The Crown has been introduced and invented by Mike Sabag. Mike Sabag is the world-renowned founder and innovator of 2 global companies that we know and love, one of which is Moroccanoil. And then, of course, my personal favorite, Serena Key. So we have a history of hair within our company. We have a history of innovation. We have a history of offering new technology that has not been seen on the market before and using natural ingredients to elevate your client's experience and their hair. And we are bringing this all forward to you, this history of hair, this history of technology, and this history of innovation within the Crown smoothing system itself. So I'm going to share a little video with you guys that they did, and I absolutely love it. So share content, share screen. I'm going to talk myself through this as I go. right, I love that. And let's go back. Here we go. I love videos. I love branding. They're just kind of fun. And they've done such a beautiful job with their marketing. Our ambassadors are Ted Gibson and Jason Backey, who we all know are celebrity stylists in LA. And they are just incredible people to work for and follow. And really inspirational. And they do things very different. If you ever get the opportunity to actually look at their salons and see the history of their salons and what they've created in LA, completely different. So some points of difference from our product as to other products on the market. Okay, our product, of course, number one, we say no to formaldehyde. We use a 5-molecule AcroCore technology. And when we say AcroCore technology, what we mean is we are causing these molecules to only react where they need to be. So on the hair strand itself, each part of the hair strand is going to require different things. So our technology actually has these molecules only going and repairing and smoothing to the areas that need it. This is going to prevent unnecessary buildup. With other products on the market, what they do is they actually coat from cuticle to tip, root to end, and you end up with a little bit of a heavier result, a little bit of a duller, more lifeless effect. With ours, you get to keep the volume. Our molecules will only go where they are needed. You do not get buildup. You do not get excess of weight. You do not get heaviness. And I'm actually going to go through each one of those molecules and what their benefits are in just about 2 seconds, okay? Ours is a one-stop service. So unlike other products in the market where the client might have to go home for 24 to 48 hours with the chemicals in her hair, this has been something that we've seen in some of the bigger brands out there before. They actually have to leave. They cannot flat iron. They cannot get a bend in their hair or absolutely anything. They can't even open the oven because the humidity, poof, frizz, ruins their smoothing system. Ours is one salon visit system. They do not leave with chemicals in their hair. This service is going to be 2 to 3 to 4 hours, depending on what the client's desire is and what the client's hair texture is and how long and dense it is. But it's a one-stop system. And I love that. I do not love having to tell my clients like, okay, go home with the chemical in your head, come back, we'll finish this step tomorrow. Main reason being, I don't have time for that. That doesn't work for me. The other biggest point of difference is with this product, she can instantly go home, throw on her swimsuit and jump in the ocean. She can go to the gym, she can sweat, she can jump in the sauna, she can do absolutely everything without that affecting the results. There is no downtime with this. With other brands on the market, we always knew there was that 24 to 48 hour window period where really you couldn't do anything. With ours, we've completely eliminated that. So the client has complete lifestyle flexibility as soon as her service is done. All right, we are going to keep the volume. This will not weigh your client's hair down. I have done this on clients who have 6 hairs on her head and they hate each other. And she still had beautiful body to her hair. All right, I love that, I really do. We are going to give you long-lasting results. This system will last up to 6 months with appropriate care and maintenance. So when I'm talking to my clients about their investment, I really love that because I can tell them, okay, so your investment is going to be $400. You're going to get 6 months worth of beautiful hair for that $400. How does that sound? That is fabulous, fabulous, fabulous hair for less than $100 a month. We can turn back the time on your hair for under $100 a month. What do you think? And they're going to love it. They're going to eat that up. All right. We also have this cutting down your drying time. Because this AcroCore technology, most of it will increase moisture retention and elasticity, which means at home, even if your client lets her hair air dry, she's going to have a faster drying time, even with air dry. When she goes to blow dry it, you're cutting her drying time down. Clients love that, and especially in a busy world where everyone is working. We're all back to work now, so now we all have to look a certain way. Clients who have not blow dried their hair in months are going to start blow drying their hair now. This is going to be a very different world for them. All of a sudden they remembered, oh yeah, that's right. It takes 45 minutes to blow dry my hair. Not any longer. You set them up with that and a really good blow dryer, they are going to be laughing. It'll be 10 minutes at best. So really, and time is money to our clients. Ease of styling, ease of maintenance, ease of longevity. Clients will pay for any of that because we really do live in a convenience culture where time really is money. All right. When it comes to our 5 smart molecules, we have keratin. Keratin is going to give you healthy, smooth, shiny hair. This is going to eliminate frizz, flyaways, plus it's going to give you long-lasting heat protection. So not only as we're going in and we're actually coating the hair, sorry, not coating the hair, putting these molecules into the hair, the molecules are also there to kind of help the hair stay healthier longer. This is one of them. Keratin is incredibly important to our hair. As we know, keratin keeps the hair healthy, makes the hair strong. All right. We also are using acai juice. And I love acai juice. We've been drinking this for years because we know the importance of the antioxidant properties to it that really do help us with our inside. Acai has 1,000,001 different properties. But this antioxidant prevents the hair from absorbing free radicals and environmentals. So this is important for our clients who live in the cities. This is important for our clients who work in, you know, a little bit more environmentally impacted results like oil field, things like that, or clients who are really high well water. This is rich in omega-3 that is going to help with a healthy hair and a healthy scalp. All right, we've got bioceramides. Bioceramides help keep the cuticle flat and smooth. This is going to give you that mirror finish to the hair. This is going to make the hair incredibly shiny. And you guys, when I'm working on the mannequin that I have today, you are going to laugh because it is shocking how beautiful that this just made mannequin hair. And mannequin hair is not the prettiest thing necessarily to work with. So when you actually see these results in clients too, it is incredible, incredible what it will do for you. And I'm going to tell you a story about a client who never had shiny hair and I gave her shiny hair after. All right. This is also going to promote elasticity, moisture retention, and keep the hair straight. So your bioceramides, one more time, will keep the cuticle flat, helping you get that increased shine and that mirror-like finish. This is going to help over wear and tear as well. It's going to give your hair protection for wear and tear due to thermal styling, just day-to-day wear, and chemical styling. This is going to offer a layer of protection there. All right. And also, one more time, promoting elasticity, moisture, shine retention, and keep the hair smooth and straight. We've got wheat germ. Now, wheat germ is composed of a long-lasting chain of fatty acids. This is going to relieve dryness from the hair. And this to me was a big thing too, because the one thing about some of the other smoothing systems that I've worked with in the past, the hair never really felt hydrated. The hair felt straight, but it didn't feel hydrated. And to me, that is the most important thing, is because when clients touch their hair, and especially if they have done a lot of thermal damage to their hair or a lot of chemical damage to their hair never feels moisturized. Whereas with this system, you are going to bring the moisture back into their hair. And this is also because of the wheat germ. All right. This is also going to help with your shine, your moisture retention, your elasticity. Then we have mustard seed oil. Now, mustard oil is going to help reduce inflammation and irritation. This is going to promote a healthy scalp. And this is important to me too, especially when we are dealing with clients with chemical sensitivity. I have not had a reaction to this whatsoever. And especially when we tell our clients, if they're like, well, I'm really worried about my scalp, I'm really worried about this, really worried about this. Be like, you know what? Not only are we going formaldehyde free, we're going chemical free. We're using natural properties that we see every day, and a lot of which we know have thousands and thousands of benefits to the hair. But we also have wheat germ oil, or sorry, mustard oil. And mustard oil is designed to reduce inflammation. It's designed to reduce irritation. So we are going to make sure that we are nurturing the scalp as well. Because if you don't have a healthy scalp, you do not have healthy hair. And clients are like, oh, that sounds fantastic. That sounds fabulous. And again, with each one of these smart molecules working within the Aquaphor technology, they will only go and target areas that the hair needs them. They will not waste their time where it does not need to be, which I absolutely love, because then again, we are reducing heaviness to the hair. So this to me is absolutely incredible. And when you tell your clients what's in it, because again, they've been shell shocked from other products in the market. They're like, I don't like chemical. I tried this before and like I felt irritation. I saw smoke. I saw, poof. And you're trying to tell your client at the time, no, I'm just searing in the moisture, when actually you're just burning the chemical into the air. But the fibs that we tell as we go. You can tell your client, no, we're going to be working with acai. We're going to be working with bioceramides. We're going to be working with keratin. We are going to be working with wheat germ, and we are going to be working with mustard oil. It just sounds so much beautiful. It sounds so much better, and it sounds so much natural to our clients. And nowadays, clients are very, very cautious as to what chemicals we are putting into their heads. We have chemical-free salons actually popping up now. Like, people are really apprehensive about things like this. So we are offering you something that we have not seen in the market before. So to me, this is incredibly important. Now, one of the things that I also love is you are going to talk to your client about what her hair needs. We have 4 different formulas. Now, these 4 different formulas are important because the hair is going to be different for every client. Once again, we are not one bottle fits all. We have product number 0. 0 is going to be for your virgin hair. Okay, clients who have never colored their hair before, first time beginners with things, or sometimes your natural hair clients who just really have never experienced anything chemical. We have our product number 0. We've got number 1 and number 1 Forte. Number 1 is designed for chemically treated hair. So hair that has been previously colored. 1 Forte is going to be previously colored hair, but that is a coarser texture. All right, so she's got that really strong, resistant Mediterranean hair. You might want to go for 1 Forte as opposed to number 1. Then we have my personal favorite, number 2. Number 2 is designed for pre-lightened hair. There has not been something like this on the market before. And I pushed the limits with number 2. My first client that I ever worked on was one of my fabulous stylists, Lydia. Because the Crown was like, no, we'll do a bottle together. This will be great. I'm like, okay, great. So I brought them a beautiful young lady who is natural level 2, pre-lightened to a 12, possibly a 13. So we know what that hair looks like. And she's a stylist, so we know what that hair has been through. It has seen some times, and it has seen a lot of times with a lot of lightener. And to be able to actually go in with a product like number 2, which is specifically designed for pre-lightened hair, was incredible. It was absolutely beautiful. And especially as we know with our really heavy, and excuse the term bleach, but I'm going to use the term bleached blondes. Bleached blondes never have shine unless we use superficial products like Shine Serum. I was able to give Lydia shiny hair. And that was a whole other world to me. And then the funniest thing was, this was last summer in Alberta. We had about 40-degree temperature, and she went to a graduation ceremony. She wears glasses, had to wear a mask. So of course, hot, 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 lots of perspiration, lots of moisture. Her bangs, she said, was the first time they ever stayed beautiful for a full day. But not only this, we didn't see color and tone disruption. And this is important to me too. All right, sometimes with lighting systems in the past, what we've seen is a really, really, really heavy color disruption when working with smoothing systems. With ours, depending on what you are doing or how high your flat iron will have, you might see a little bit of a tone shift, but it is not a color disruption. With the other systems, I'm not kidding, it has been full color disruption. With ours, it is not that. And that to me is absolutely incredible. By having 4 different systems that we're working with too, during our consultation, we can actually sit down with a form and write down, okay, so you know what? You've got a really beautiful, fabulous balayage. So for the roots of your hair, we're gonna either use number 1 or number 0, depending on what she's got going on. And then for the ends of your hair where you have been pre-lightened, we are gonna use number 2. Or for your clients, now this is a big one, you guys, growing out their gray. I have so many clients right now who are growing out their gray. So what we've done is I have an advanced pre-lighting system, probably about 6 inches from down. So all this has now been pre-lightened and all this is new growth of that gray hair. Well, the one thing clients really don't like about growing out their gray is the texture of it. They're so used to color smoothing down the cuticle and making it feel softer, making it feel healthier. So this way, when I'm marketing to those clients, because now I don't have them as color clients anymore, I could be like, have you ever thought about doing a smoothing system on your hair to kind of give your hair that young feeling again, to give it that softness, to give it that smoothness? And she'd be like, no. And you're like, well, we're going to do it today. So then what I would do, of course, is select the appropriate formulas for where I'm targeting those areas. So 0 from her roots to her demarcation line. Then number 2 from her demarcation line down. There's customization to our system. And I love that. That to me is so important. And that to me is something that we haven't had on the market before. All right. You're going to be able to get these in 2 different sizes too. We always, in my shop, we like to have the big mamas. But if you're kind of new to smoothing systems, we also have smaller bottles available as well. So you'll contact your distributor to figure out which system what product size you would like to bring in first. They have launched some really incredible introductory deals. All right. This is also going to matter too for your clients who you want to find out what the history of the hair is. So if you know for a fact you've been a stylist of hers for a long time, and all of a sudden she's chocolate brown, and you're like, fabulous, you know, she's been dark for a while, but you have to remember what the history of the hair is. She might be chocolate brown from about here up, but underneath here might still be pre-lightening. We know the history of the hair has pre-lightened ends. So for there again, we can customize things. So for the areas where we know have been just dark for a long time, we would use system number 1. For areas that have a little bit of a different history where it is colored dark, but there is pre-lightening on the ends, we could mix system 1 and system 2 together to give her a little bit more of a gentle effect. There is customization within our product. That is something that has not been offered on the market for a long time. And that's one thing that is going to stand out. And clients love the concept of customization because customization to them also teaches them they're getting something from you that they cannot get across the street. That is extremely important to me. I work across from some beautiful and incredible salons, but all I have to say is, you know what? I love the idea of doing the smoothing system on you today. I am going to customize this for you. So your value is just increased by about 40%, charge an extra $100. Well, not technically, but you could. We have 3 different system options for you too in terms of results. We've got smooth, we've got pin straight, and we've got keep the curl. Keep the curl to me is money. And that has been something that has not been really marketed towards when we are talking about smoothing systems for a long time. This is going to give the client the opportunity to actually maintain the curl of her hair, but eliminate the frizz. And this I love. This is just beautiful because a lot of times right now we are seeing our clients trying to embrace their natural texture a little bit more. They're embracing their natural curl. So people are always like, well, I don't know how smoothing systems are going to go because people are wearing their curly hair. Curly haired girls hate frizz. They hate frizz more than absolutely everything. They want to have that cute, shaggy little mullet, but they don't want to look like, you know, they just stepped off the beach like Monica and Friends, or she just jammed her finger in a light socket. So this is why keep the curl is important. You can talk to her and be like, you know, I love your curl. What are some of the struggles that you have with your curl? She's like, it's so frizzy. I have a solution for that. How would you like to have 6 months of frizz-free curl? She's like, done, sold, fabulous. All right. Or we always still have clients who want glass hair. They want that Kim Kardashian, Chris Appleton just went through them, beautiful glass straight hair. We have 3 different options for you with that. And those options are going to come from your actual technical work. So I'll go through that a little bit with you guys. With our system, actually, so you know what? I'll show you guys a little video first, and then I'll go through the technical with it. Just kind of give you ideas of what the steps you're going to work with, okay? Sounds good? Give me a thumbs up if you're still awake. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to share my screen one more time. Here we go. Perfect. And files done. Love that. Perfect. So with our system, all right, the first thing that you're going to want to do during an application, of course, do an appropriate consultation, see what desired results you want to go, talk to the client about what her investment is going to be. You are going to take your client back and you are going to give her a really good a really good shampoo with our pre-technical shampoo. All right, depending on what the client has going on with her hair, you might want to give her 2 good shampoos with this. This is an incredibly gentle cleansing shampoo. This is going to remove any environmental, any oils, any kind of color residue, what could prevent the system from properly adhering to her hair. So it is important to use a good pre-shampoo treatment. I do not use any other clarifying shampoo because to me, if I'm working with the Crown system, I'm going to work with the Crown products. I want to make sure that everything I'm doing is going to ensure the longevity of this system. So this is why I'm only going to use the pre-shampoo. I can do chemical colors the same day as my treatment itself. They will sometimes recommend sometimes 24 to 40 hours, depending on what you're doing. But for me personally, behind the chair, and a lot of us as stylists, we're not going to have the opportunity to break systems up. So you can do this the same day as you have done a chemical service. And I'll give you some tips and tricks on that towards the end of this, okay? The next thing you are going to do is you are going to take the client and you are going to dry her hair 80%, leaving 20% of the moisture still in her hair. The reason we're leaving 20% of the moisture still in her hair is because we want to make sure that there's enough moisture in there to kind of help the product spread through a little bit easier, okay? If you are going for 100% pin straight on really, really curly hair, pro tip, get it 100% dry. But for you behind the chair, it's nice to just leave it about 20% dry. And you guys, when I'm going to talk to you about things like rinsing 90%, rinsing 75%, having it dry 20%, or leaving 20% of the moisture in when drying, this to me was so, I overthought it completely for the longest time. But then as you're working with the systems, it becomes like driving a stick shift. Do you remember the first time you had to drive a stick shift and you like jumped your car through every intersection you've ever had because you didn't know how to drive a stick shift? You couldn't understand what to feel with this. Once we're working with the systems and you get your hands into this, you will be able to clock what is 20%. When I'm rinsing, what is 90%? What is 75%? So it really does come from experience. You will get your hands wet with this and you will understand what I am talking about. If you dry the hair 100%, is that a problem? No. If you leave 30% of the moisture, is that a problem? Not necessarily. But again, the 20% is just going to help with the product spreadability, all right? Once we have the product applied, there is an application time, or sorry, a processing time. The processing time is going to be between 60 to 90 minutes. This is going to depend on the client's hair and what product you have chosen. So for system number 0, the processing time is going to be 90 minutes. For color treated hair or pre-lightened hair, the processing time is going to be 60 minutes. With one Forte, I would probably leave it for the full 90 minutes. That's my little pro tip, all right? The nice thing with this system, you guys, when you have to think about this and you're like, okay, so the client has to sit for 90 minutes within her hair, think about this as a stylist and a business perspective. Okay, the client has to sit with this for 60 minutes in her hair. What could I do productively with my time for 60 minutes? I could do another haircut. I could do another color application. So I am now taking my service from a $400 service, throwing a haircut in between and bringing that to a $475 service. Or I could possibly do a whole other different crown application and then all of a sudden I've got a $900 day or a $1,500 day depending on what I'm charging. Love that. Or sometimes for stylists, it's just nice to actually have a break. So you will have between 60 to 90 minute processing time. If you are working with roller balls, of course, that would adjust your time period. So you would adjust for it from that point forward, okay? All right, so I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of a product application. So you always wanna take your bottle. For my model, drop it. My model is going to be this beautiful Betty here. Isn't she gorgeous? Fabulous. So one part of her hair is already been treated. One part of her hair hasn't been. And I'm gonna bring you guys in nice and close for this. The product that I'm going to use for my system today on her is going to be for chemically treated or color treated hair. Shake your bottle. Before you disperse it into the bowl itself, really give it a good shake. Get the product open up in there. You will measure it out. All right, so I always start off with usually about 1 to 2 ounces, depending on the client's density. Go ahead and apply that in there. I only need a little bit. The crazy thing with this too is it really doesn't have much of a fragrance to it. That is one thing too that I absolutely love about this as opposed to other products in the market. When I've got it in the bowl and you smell it, it's very gentle. It's very light. I'm actually able to bring this up to my face and smell it without being hit by incredible amounts of waves of product, which is really nice because I'm not used to that. Another pro tip, wear gloves. Last time I did one of these classes, I did not wear gloves. I did my product application without them. Craziest thing about that, my hands actually felt incredibly soft for the rest of the day. So this was good to know, all right? But do wear gloves as you're doing your system. You're gonna separate the hair into 4 different quadrants, 2 in the front and 2 in the back. So dividing it up into a pie-shaped section. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Generally, you always start in the back nape, working your way up. Okay, same thing with the front. You start in the front, low, working your way high. Don't start high, working your way down. Reason being is if I started up here, started applying my product and started throwing it over and working my way from top to bottom, I'm probably gonna end up getting it on the client's face. I'm gonna have a messier application, or I might not have appropriate saturation and complete coverage. All right, you always start low, working your way high. Starting from the back, working my way forward. All right, for the sake of this today though, I really want you guys to have a good visual as to what I'm doing. So I'm actually gonna start at the front. And so when doing this behind the chair though, I would always start back nape, working my way up. Okay, keep your sections clean. You want to make sure that you have full saturation of this product. And you want to make sure that you're not missing any spots. If you miss a spot, and especially when you're going for that pin straight smooth look, the client is going to know that you missed it and she's going to feel that you missed it, okay? Best thing for you to get to is the Famar Emperor product application brush. This is a godsend for these kind of systems. It just helps you comb and distribute the product at the same time. So I'm gonna kind of bring you a little closer, tilt you a little bit further up if I can. There we go. So when I'm applying my product itself, I'm working in 1/2 inch sections. So 1/2 inch is about the width of my finger, okay? Nice small 1/2 inch sections. I'm going to take the product, comb through the hair, and just dipping my brush in. I'm not really scooping it. I'm just dipping my brush in. So I've got a good healthy amount of product just on the end of the comb. The product doesn't need to live down there. It will not saturate from there. Then I'm going to take it, I'm going to tap it 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to brush it all the way forward. I take the tail, or sorry, the comb end of it, and I just brush that product through a little bit more. And you really want to have appropriate product saturation. You also want to work your way up a little bit closer to the root, but you stay about a rat tail distance away from the root itself. You're not slapping this product onto the client's scalp, okay? So when I'm applying this, I'm staying about a rat tail comb distance from the root itself and working my way down. And I want to see this hair saturated. But that being said, I don't want to see the hair dripping. So when I'm applying this and I'm working my way down and I'm combing, I should not see excessive amounts of moisture coming off this. I should not see it dripping onto the floor. If you're seeing it dripping onto the floor, you're actually just watching money hit the ground, okay? So you should be able to see that this hair is completely saturated. And if I take my fingers and I run my fingers across the section, I should not see excessive amounts of product between my fingers. This should be relatively clean, all right? And I'll bring this up nice and close to you. And the funny thing too is with this product, when you have it on the hair, you can instantly see the shine and you guys can see the product saturation that I've got there. The hair is covered, but it's not dripping. Think of it like applying a demi-permanent. So in my world, I'm a huge Schwarzkopf fanatic. So I work with Vibrance a lot. I want to see almost the exact same coverage with my crown application or my crown product as I see with my Vibrance. All right, don't drown it, but make sure it's covered. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and take another 1/2 inch section. And you guys, like I said, I'm very precise and I'm very clean with my 1/2 inch section. All right, it should be about the size of my finger. Again, starting up, tapping down, and comb it all the way through. You can even comb it into your previous section to help take any of the excess product from there. And when you're working with really curly hair, don't be afraid to elevate this section Tap it up close to where the hairline lives to catch any little baby hairs you might encounter. And make sure that that hair is completely covered and saturated. Then one more time, working my way up to the rootage and keeping about tail comb distance away, so I'm not drowning the root in the product itself. And you literally will just continue this process until they get to the top of each section. If the hair is really quite coarse and really quite thick, I might drop this from a 1/2 inch to a 1/4 inch, depending on what I'm working with. I want to make sure that I can get the product completely through there. So if her hair was extremely, extremely coarse and really, really dense, I probably would change this from a 1/2 inch to a 1/4 inch section. Okay, get that placed in there, comb it through, make sure it's completely saturated. Look for any dry spots. So for instance, as I'm doing my product application, I can kind of see this looks like a little bit of a dry spot there. So what I'm gonna do is just take a little bit of my extra product and I'm just gonna apply it a little bit more into those ends just to make sure that it is completely covered. You will see a notable difference as you go. So you're going to go and do this process from lower to higher on all 4 sections, starting from the back, working your way forward, okay? From there, the product is going to process. One more time, the product is going to process for 60 to 90 minutes. Okay, once the product has been processed, you are going to take the client and you are going to rinse her hair. Now, this is extremely important. For fine hair, you are going to rinse the hair 75%, leaving 25% of the product left in her hair. For thick hair, you're going to rinse it 90%. All right, what does that look like behind the chair? This again will come down to experience and knowledge. So when I'm working with fine haired girls, the one thing that I do is I'll kind of leave the ends of their hair out when I'm starting my rinsing of my application, and I'll kind of just take my hose and just go right around the hairline, then very gently working it down. So then all of a sudden I'm catching the ends kind of towards the end of it. This is just a little pro tip to make sure that I am leaving product where I need it to be. If you were to accidentally rinse the hair 100%, no big deal. But do try and leave at least 10 to 25% of the product in the hair for the next step, which is the flat ironing. Okay, after you have her rinsed, no shampooing, no product in that hair whatsoever. Take her back to the chair, give her a really good brush out, and then give her a really good blow dry. Now, personally behind the chair, I will always use a more bristle brush or a nice round brush or something just to kind of make a little bit of a smoother canvas for me to work with and a little bit of a cleaner canvas for me to work with. I do not personally like to rough dry with things like this just because this is an elevated service. My experience through the elevated service should look and feel elevated all this through. If you do rough dry, not necessarily wrong, but really do make sure that you can get your flat iron comb through each section after that point forward, okay? Once again, now I'm going to take my flat iron, and this is a really good opportunity too to talk to yourself and have a real honest conversation with yourself. Is when was the last time you bought a flat iron? Because behind the chair, we will have the same flat iron for 25 years. And we look at that flat iron, and that flat iron is ratty. She looks like she'd have been thrown out 45 years ago. She is coated in hairspray and heaven knows what else. So do have a quick conversation with yourself. Is when the last time I bought a flat iron? Make sure you upgrade your tools, okay? You are going to adjust your temperature setting depending on the client's needs and depending on what system you have chosen, okay? For regular virgin hair, going for that really smooth or pin straight effect, you are going to go in with the temperature of 450. Okay. Once again, all of the products in our AquaPore technology, like our acai, our keratin, our bioceramides, our wheat germ, and our mustard, have all heat protection within them. So even though we are working at 450 degrees, we are not going to be damaging that hair. Everything within our AquaPore technology and our smart molecule system is going to protect the hair as we are working with this and when we are working with the heat. If it is color treated hair, we've used system 1 or 1 Forte, we are going to be working at 410. If we are working with pre-lightened hair, we're probably going to be living at around the 390, 370 mark. And always do a test run with your temperature to start. So especially with my pre-lightened girls, when I am going through and I am doing the flat ironing on her hair, I will do my flat iron passes and then I will look at the hair and see what it looks like. If it looks like it is shrinking like all of a sudden looks really kind of stringy and feels a little dry, I'll turn my temperature down from there. Sometimes as I'm flat ironing, I feel I'm like, actually, I turn my temperature up a little bit. So we'll go from 370 to 390. But you will see what I'm talking about with this. We are going to do 8 to 10 passes on each section. My sections, once again, are going to be 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch. All right, coarser, thicker hair, I would recommend 1/4 inch. A little bit finer hair, I would do 1/2 inch. And you are going to be consistent and you are going to be gentle with your flat iron passes. I'll show you what that'll look like. Okay, so I've got my flat iron warmed up and ready. And I will sometimes have 2 flat irons going. So depending on what the client's hair needs are and depending on what I'm working with, if I've worked with system 1 and system 0, I'll have 2 flat irons ready. I'll have a flat iron set at 410 and a flat iron set at 390. So what I'll do is I'll go through and the area that has not been pre-lightened, that is just beautifully colored, I'll do my passes at 410. Then I'll grab my second iron with the pre-lightened ends and I'll go over that one with the lower temperature from there. All right, so you really do have customization set in with this too. You will take each section and you guys, these flat iron passes have already been done. So I'm gonna grab a section just gently above it. And your section should only be as wide as where you can work. If this section feels too wide, subsection off. Create pants, take the left leg, do the left leg first. And when I'm holding my section, I have tension and I'm going 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna go over this 8 to 10 times. There's 10. All right, and I'm gonna bring you guys a little closer. And you can see the difference of the activated product and the unactivated flat ironing. And look at the shine in that. This to me is gorgeous. This is on extremely coarse, extremely chemically texturized mannequin hair. So you can see the difference in that. Then I'll take my other section and I'll go over it equal amounts of time. And when I'm holding my flat iron, I'm not killing it. Like I'm not ripping through it. I'm being very gentle with it. I'm being very, very cautious as to my tension. I'm holding it, I've got good security, but I'm not death gripping it. You know, and if as you're flat ironing, you're feeling tension, it might be time to upgrade your flat iron. Again, if I was working with 2 different systems and I did my formula number 1 for the root to the demarcation line, I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 10. Then I would take my second flat iron and go from that demarcation line down. And you literally just keep following these steps until you get all the way through and her entire head is complete. One notable point of difference during our application, during our flat ironing process, is as soon as she is done, you are going to blow dry her hair. Take 2 minutes, just 2 minutes with a board bristle brush, 2 minutes with a really good flat brush. If you guys have not invested in the Mint Craze brush, I would recommend that. And go through and blow dry her hair and exaggerate the movements. Use her head as an ironing board and really bring the life back into that hair. This is going to encourage movement. This is going to encourage volume. After you have done your flat ironing steps, so one more time, depending on what you're working with is going to depend on your heat. Your heat will either be 370 to 450, depending on where you're working with. Pre-lightened hair, you're going to live within the 370, 390 realm. Color treated hair, 410. Normal hair, 450. 8 to 10 passes per system. If you are going for pin straight, you are going to drop that from a 1/2 inch section to a 1/4 inch section, and you are going to flat iron 15 to 17 times per pass. This is when you want that Kim Kardashian glass straight hair. All right. The system for Keep You Curly, you guys, I know I talked about this. I'm going to give you that information at the end of this process, but you really want to make sure that you've gotten everything. You've really woken that product up. From there, you are going to bring her back to the sink and you are going to shampoo her with your technical post shampoo and my coveted Supreme mask. And you're going to leave this on for 3 minutes. This mask is life-changing. If I could retail this size of this mask, I 100% would, and I would probably throw a $400 price tag on it. And the minute I've used it on somebody, they would probably pay it. This mask is absolutely unbelievable. It is incredible. You leave it on for 3 to 4 minutes, take them back, finish them however you want. And this is kind of like the exception to the rule when I talked about rough drying. So what I'll always do is after I finish my system and her hair looks and feel fabulous, instead of going through and round brushing everything, I'll take that little corner of her hair here and I'll kind of just rough dry that little corner, just so she can see what her hair will look like with minimal effort. And clients love that because it's that immediate gratification. They're like, oh my gosh, that looks incredible. And you're like, yeah, like that's just rough dry. That's just blown out. That's no brush to it. That's no effort to it. That is literally just put through and roughly blow dried. And it kind of shows them what the results at home are going to look like with minimal effort. From there, of course, I will finish it however I want to finish it. Curling iron, blah, 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 anything around it. If I have done a blonde that day, or a high ginger or a fashion color, and I ever do see a slight tonal shift, after I have done my post-technical shampoo, I could go through and re-gloss her hair. I could retone her hair. I could apply another beautiful pink onto her hair. The rule of thumb with this though, is you are going to use demi-permanents, not permanents. So for me, one more time behind the chair, I'm a Schwarzkopf fan. I will always go to my Vibrance or my blonding toners as opposed to my really hard permanent toners. Go for something demi-permanent, or tinted conditioners are one of my absolute favorite things in the world. I will always go for a tinted conditioner, just to kind of bring the pigmentation back to where you had it originally. But don't be afraid to do this. So your high gingers, her hair is going to be high shine, high beauty. But if I notice a slight tonal shift, I could go through with a chemical treated, color pigmented mask and just remask her hair, then go through with the Supreme mask. Or I could just retone it real quick. We do have that option where other systems on the market, we have not had that option before. And this is fabulous for your ice blondes. All right, it's gonna be incredible. If you are keeping the curl and cutting the frizz, there is a little bit of a different step to this. Product applications for the most part are completely the same. You would apply your product exactly like you would from any other system. You would probably use number 0 or number 1, depending on what the client's hair texture is. Then you would gently place a towel over top of her head and you would set her under heat for the 60-minute processing time. All right, this does not necessarily mean it has to be a hood dryer. We have access to all those like little beautiful infrared light things. I think they're called the Medusa heater. Incredible for this. You're gonna let it process for 60 minutes. Then you are going to rinse. When you're going to rinse, you're going to rinse 80% of the product out there, leaving 20% of the product back in. You will dry her like normal, but your sectioning is going to be a little different. So your sectioning is going to be 1.5 to 3/4 of an inch. So it's going to be bigger sectioning. And you will only do 3 to 5 passes per section. That is it. Then as soon as you're done each section, you're going to take a 2-inch curling iron barrel, set at the same temperature, and you're literally just going to take each section and just quickly wrap it and drop it. This is just going to kind of help enhance that curl memory back into it. Simple as that. It's absolutely incredible and it's absolutely fabulous. So easy, right? Similar steps to what we've seen with other products and other brands in the market, just done a little bit better. And again, using ingredients that are a little bit smarter or a lot smarter. Using ingredients that are chemical free, using ingredients that are natural that we see every day, using ingredients that we know and love, all right? This is going to give her up to 6 months worth of results. We do have a take-home system to marry with it. Of course, you know, we are always saying, if you don't take home the take-home product, your results will still have good, beautiful longevity to it. But if you use the products that we are going to encourage, you will get better longevity. All right. I always do have contracts with my clients, even with chemical services, where I just say, if you don't purchase from me, I don't guarantee my work, regardless. This comes to chemicals, this comes to styling, this comes to extensions, this comes to absolutely everything. So I do encourage my clients to take the retail home that marries with the product or the service that I have done. It just makes sense. It's like luxury hair deserves luxury attention. This is a luxury system. You need luxury care to go with it. It's like after I get on my Botox and hydrofacial, I need to be using good, you know, skincare. I can't just go wash my face with bar soap. Will my face still look great? Yeah. Will it stay soft? No. But that being said, so we've got 2 different families within our retail line. All right. We've got Doll No More and my personal favorite, Find the Volume. So we have one designed for normal to coarser hair, and then we have a retail line designed for fine hair. This to me makes me so happy. Reason being, a lot of retail out there for volume, for thickening, for anything like that has a tendency to be extremely dehydrating and extremely stripping. Where ours is going to keep the hair soft, luxurious, shiny, but still keep volume to it. Each one of our shampoos and conditioners are going to have 2 to 3 of the core ingredients that we deal with our system itself. So for instance, with the Dull No More, you're going to have the molecules of keratin and wheat germ. All right, this is going to be rich in vitamin E and A, and omegas 3 and 6. All right, then we also have masks that coincide with this. The masks are going to be composed of acai, wheat germ, and keratin. Again, enriched in antioxidants, vitamins E and A, as well as omegas 3 and 6. And the fact that we actually have a volume or a mask for fine hair too is wonderful. I love it. And your masks come in very generous tubs. You need the smallest amount of this humanly possible. Tiny little scoop. I use this on everyone. And actually, for those of you who know and those of you I haven't met yet, I am an extension fanatic. And I've been marrying the system with extensions. And this line goes so beautifully with all of my luxury services that I don't even exclude this line to just doing it when I do the system. I will sell this line with extension clients. I will sell this line with my color clients. I will sell this line with everyone. I completely love it. Okay. The other thing that we have in our retail family, so we've got our shampoos, our conditioners, and our mask in both Dull No More and Find the Volume. Then we have a beautiful product called the Hero Serum. Now the Hero Serum comes in a little bottle like this. And this is beautiful because every castle needs a hero. And the crown, of course, lives in a castle. So you have to have a hero with you. So your Hero Serum is going to be probably one of the most beautiful serums that you're ever going to live with. This is going to keep the hair healthy. It is going to help the hair dry faster. So even if she's letting her hair air dry, 2 drops of the Hero Serum in air dry hair is going to give her a frizz-free dry. This is also going to help repair damage and cosmetically remove the appearance of damage. This is also going to help mend and repair split ends. You just put a little bit of this in damp hair, and it is going to be one of the most beautiful products you need to ever need to work with. Now, the one thing about the Hero Serum and our product line that I will tell you is we do have a luxury price tag attached to it. The reason being, all of our products are taken at initial concentration. So when we are harvesting our ingredients for our products, that first squeeze of concentration is what our products are made out of. And you have to think of this when you're actually going and squeezing orange juice. That first squeeze has the most intense flavor. It has the most intense taste to it. It's got the most vitamins, the most properties. By about the 50th squeeze, you're still getting some juice, but it's not going to be the same. Everything with us is taken at an initial squeeze of concentration. This also has your bioceramides, your acai, and your keratin. All right. Absolutely incredible product line to go with it. I love it. And it does just make sense. When I am talking to my clients, I will even include possibly going forward a package deal, taking advantage of whatever rewards I have. Don't talk about that though. But I will actually sometimes just include it in the price. So when I'm talking to my clients about the initial investment, I will say, okay, here's the thing. Your investment is going to be $400. With the $400, you are also going to get 3 of my favorite Crown products. And I'll just lump it into the price so I know that they're taking it home with them. It is not necessarily free. They are paying for it, but that's kind of a here nor there thing. That's a whole other thing that we can talk about during a business class. But it does just make sense by lumping it into the price of the service itself. Then you know they are leaving with what they need. It just was a no-brainer to me. All right. So what did we think of this? Because we are booking the system and we're saying the results are lasting for 6 months, I will always pre-book my clients in at around the 5-month mark, just to make sure that I do have them scheduled for their next service from this point forward. All right. And behind the chair, you guys, I've worked with the system a few times, and one of my clients who I absolutely love, she's got a beautiful balayage that my stylist Megan did on her. Incredible. So she's a mixture of natural hair and pre-lightened hair. And she has that not curly, that really fine, coarse, frizzy texture. And we did this system on her hair. And the one thing that I loved is I didn't get color interruption with her pre-lightened ends. I did not get color interruption with her natural. And every time we've seen her, when she comes in, her hair is beautiful. And she is not one to take time with it. And it was super funny with her too, because we do extensions on her hair, and she always had a little bit of a trouble because the extension hair would always be more beautiful than her natural hair. So you never got that true, fabulous, seamless blend. With doing the system on her, all of a sudden we were able to marry her extensions to her hair, and nobody even could tell the difference between the two. Her hair looks impeccable. And to her, she loved it because she loves to travel. She doesn't like to put a lot of effort into her hair. She wants to go to a spin class and be able to walk out of that spin class still looking not like she's been shocked with electrotherapy, you know? And to give her that, she was so thrilled. She loves it. And it's completely changed everything. And especially with not seeing environmental coming off. Now, that being said, if during your process, if you are flat ironing the hair and you are seeing smoke come off the hair, chances are you did not rinse the product enough. So keep that into consideration for your next application and your rinsing. All right. If you find that the hair looks just a little bit flat and it doesn't look like it has a lot of life to it, you did not rinse the product enough. So your rinsing of the product, taking that 75 to 90% out, is going to really help with the success of volume and for the success of movement into the hair. Sounds good? Fabulous. Let's do a little Q&A. Do you guys have any questions for me? Tell me a little bit of things. Absolutely anything. I love it. Deanna?
No, the second class is amazing. I learned even more. And
Fantastic.
this is a product that's really needed in our market. And I'm so excited that we have it. And
I absolutely, and you guys too, like, we will offer you all the support in the world. You will have me in your back pocket. Of course, your incredible sales reps like Deanna are always there with you too. And I love that. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about pricing. Oh, sorry. Did you have a question? Yeah, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask. Oh, I think you're still muted.
If the client has color treated hair and foils,
Yes.
would you mix the one and the two together?
100%. Yeah, I absolutely would.
For
Yeah,
night?
Yes, and I would probably do it for the 90. Depending on how much of the blonde I have, I might adjust my temperature or my processing time from there. Because if you did leave system number 1 for 60 minutes, it's not going to affect your longevity. You'll still get good results to it. But
And
if
what temperature would you set your iron at? Around 400?
personally, for me, I would probably do 410, depending on what she's got going on. If she is mostly blonde foiled, I would maybe test it out first at 410, but then if it looked like the hair, and you will be able to tell what I'm talking about when I say when it looks like it's just doing a little too much there, I would drop my temperature down from there. But I would probably feel comfortable living at the 410 mark. That's what I did for one client who was a beautiful balayage, and it worked incredibly well on her. And with her, because she was majority blonde balayage and natural, I actually used just the number 2 on her. So even though I do have a system for virgin hair, I actually did the number 2 over top of her natural hair as well. Had incredible results.
Good.
Incredible results, which is really nice. And again, it comes down to the customization. So you can mix 1 and 2 together, and then you don't have to like try and isolate the weaves and flat iron one so many times. Like, just go for it. All right. So let's talk a little bit about pricing and marketing. So from root to 10 inches worth of length, your salon cost is going to be around $40. So that's the service charge. What you're going to charge for that is around $380. So that would be clients up to probably about Deanna's length right now, if anybody can see her. All right, that to me would be $380. I'd probably charge a little bit more personally. I'd do about $400. Okay, from 10 inches to 14 inches, you're looking at about a $75 back bar cost and a price tag of $500 for a service total. Okay, so 14 inches, as we know, lives around bust line for most of our clients. So anything from shoulder to bust is going to be $500 with a service charge of $75. Okay, from 14 inches to 18 inches, because of course now we are working with more product, we are going to be looking at a $100 service fee and a $630 price tag. From 18 inches to 22 inches, which now we're into mermaid territory, we are going to be looking at a $110 price tag, and we are going to be, service cost, and we're going to be looking at a $750 investment for the client. And anything from 22 to 26 inches, which is probably about 1% of our clientele, we're looking at a $125 service total with an $880 service cost. All right, this is going to be something that you are going to customize for your territory. And I will tell you guys 2 tips when it comes to charging for things like this. 1, charge with conviction. Do not shudder at the cost. This is a luxury service. Okay, when I see my injectionist, I'm with her for 20 minutes and it is an $800 price tag, and I will pay it with pride. When we are talking to our clients, we are talking about a timeline of 3 to 4 hours for this service appointment. That has to come with a price tag. I also do not use the term cost. I use investment. Always, always, always with luxury services with higher price tags, use the term investment, because when we talk about investment, we think of what we get in return. We don't think of what we're putting out. When I think of cost, I think of what I'm handing out. When I think of investment, what am I getting in return? And when I'm talking and marketing this to my clients, I'm letting them know, I am going to give you 6 months worth of beautiful hair. I am going to turn back the time on your hair. I am going to give you the shine that you haven't had in years. I am going to give you the softness that your hair has been missing. And I'm going to give you the shine that is going to just make your hair look young and beautiful and healthy. Your investment's going to be $500. $500 for 6 months with a fantastic hair. How does that look?
Good.
Yeah.
The salon cost, product cost, is that included in that? If you were charging a $600 for the service, that's included in that.
That's included in that. Yeah, so it's the same thing as like when you're doing a color, you know how you always have service charges attached to it?
Yeah.
So what I would just do is make sure that I would, in my computer system, we'll probably end up having a service, like a different fee for each one. So that way, if I'm doing a longer crown, I'll actually have in my system, short crown, long crown, mermaid crown, beyond crown. And each one of those will have their individual service costs attached to it. And this is funny because my boss is actually in this meeting right now, so I'm giving her all of the ideas. Instead of me being like, no, there's no back bar charge, and just pocketing all $500 of that, which I would really love. So there is that. Yeah, see, there she is shaking her head. So I really do like to make sure that I do understand what you would really kind of break that down to. And then I mean, think of it this way, and you guys, I'm terrible at math, but even if I was quoting my client $630 and I'm giving her a 6-month timeline of beautiful hair, you know, that's just over $100 a month. That's 10 Starbucks. Is beautiful hair not worth 10 Starbucks a month?
Yes.
And she will eat that up. She'll love that. So it's really kind of fun to break it down into that. This is, of course, just a starting point. You guys, depending on your market, of course, can customize everything from there. If you are looking at doing content, this is one little suggestion that I have for you guys. Find a model. Now, I don't do free services really ever. I don't believe in it. I don't like doing it. But really, if this is something that is new to your market and new to your salon that you have not done before, either pick a stylist, pick a staff member, or pick one client who you know have really beautiful hair and maybe offer her a service discount and say, okay, so instead of $380, I'm going to charge you $170 for this service. So that way you're still making some money off of it. But let her know you are with me for a day. I want you to show up, makeup done, really cute outfit on, basic shirts, because I want to be able to get enough filming and photo content to last me for the next month to really promote this within my salon. If you are picking an employee to do this on, one of my favorite people to ever do treatments on any kind of new service is actually a receptionist. Because your receptionist is going to be the first one who answers the phone. And someone will be like, so do you guys do smoothing treatments there? And the receptionist will be like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, we do. We do. And I love it. I've done it in my hair. So really find that key stylist or that key employee of yours who can really talk it up and really help promote it for you to kind of get it going. Of course, my hair is a little bit shorter. So for me, I will always try and find 2 of my most beautiful long-haired girls. So for me, it's Tyler and Megan. And I'll always try and do these services on them, because then when they walk by and people are like, look how healthy her hair looks. I'm like, okay, do you know why her hair looks that healthy? Because of me. I always love doing it. All right. So how many ounces of product do you use for each? I can get you like kind of a rough breakdown of that. And so just DM me at Hair by Jessie Ray on Instagram, and I will give you like a really good product breakdown for that. And then you guys, if you are working with Salon Scale, this is going to be a really cool thing for you too, because you can customize in Salon Scale what you're doing, and it'll actually break the charge or break it down for you per ounce. Sounds good? Yeah. This was fantastic. This was great. Okay, so if anybody else has any other questions, please reach out to me. If there's anything else you guys would like me to go over, let me know and I'll be happy to do it for you. But other than that, I'm really excited for you guys to bring this product into your market. I think that it is going to be huge. And I think it is something that we are not seeing right now. Because I don't know about you guys, I have not seen anything out in the market for chemical smoothing that has been revolutionary in a long time. So there was a new chat question. I'm just gonna check this out. Are there any client info packets the salon could get? Do you mean consultation kind of ideas? If you want, you can unmute yourself and ask that a little bit more from me. Because if you are looking for consultation forms, we could probably figure out between the Crown's marketing team something for you that you could have on hand. Consultation forms.
Like packets that we can have like at stations that clients can like pick up and look at. Like it has all of the info that you kind of gave us.
Absolutely.
That they can look at on paper, maybe take it home with them so they can look at it and kind of think about it.
Like little, like almost like a little pamphlet, like a brochure.
Yes.
I look into something for that. I'll talk to Irina and the marketing team and see what they've got going on, and we'll see if we can figure something out. Because those little table talkers do come in handy, or even like little mirror stickers that say, you know, talk to me about my crown. Anything like that, I absolutely do love. The more marketing tools that you have, and the more visibility you have to your products, the more people are going to want to talk about it. And one thing you guys really do have to keep into consideration is if you don't ask, you don't get. So when you're even talking to your clients about her color, you know, don't ask her, how was your last color treating you? Ask her, how has your hair been treating you? What are some successes you've been having with your hair, and what's some struggles that you've been having with your hair? Not even necessarily color related. This is a big one because sometimes you open door to a conversation that you didn't have before. Instead of asking her, how did your last color treat you? She'd be like, oh, I love my color. But then you didn't talk about texture issues. You didn't talk about dryness. You didn't talk about split ends, and you didn't talk about frizz. You just talked about color. So just changing simple aspects of your verbiage will really help open the door for more open-ended conversations. So kind of re-dissecting and reconsulting with your clients, and especially for me too, I've had the same clientele, I swear, for 17 years. I love them. They kill me, but I have a tendency to really skip the consultation portion with them sometimes. So I'll just be like, okay, you know, Betty, Roots, good, let's roll. And I'll hit the bar, mix everything up and throw it on her head, and then rush to the back to check my last text message or eat one of the dozen donuts in the back. So sometimes we really have to bring ourselves back to consultation. And even with our clients that we've had for a long time, this is going to be a really cool opportunity for you just to say, how's your hair been treating you? Or for clients who are growing out problem haircuts. This is a big thing too. Growing out a pixie or a buzzed head, if you have kind of like that awkward phase of length and they're like, I'm really struggling with the styling of it, be like, well, why don't we do something to help with the styling for the next 6 months? Let's make your hair a little bit smoother and a little bit more manageable. Let's tame some of those cowlicks. You know, let's get rid of that cute little Betty Boop kiss curl around your hairline. Let's just make your hair a little bit easier for you to work with. Or if she's like, my hair feels really damaged. Because again, with our system here, we are reversing damage. We are bringing the health back into the hair. It's not just about smoothness, it's about health and longevity. And we can bring back the integrity of that hair. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Yes, I love it. Fantastic. And now, because Megan has worked with us before and we have experimented with other systems, if you guys have any questions, just please reach out and ask. And again, I've pretty much tried absolutely everything. And I'm so grateful I no longer have to smuggle products across the border anymore. And I'm so happy that my products do not come with safety goggles, because that killed me. I remember this last package of an unnamed brand that I got, and it actually had these like cute little glasses. And I'm like, oh, that's fun. And then I realized as I was doing the system why they had cute little glasses, because I was actually welling up like I just ate a handful of onions. Because there was so much environmental coming back into my face. So there was a question that came in the chat. I'll just double check this. Do you ship to Canada? Yes. So all of your shipping will come through ESP Salon Sales. Contact your distributor and they will get you set up. We do have 3 to 4 different intro deals there for you. Always look into your next buying guide and see which intro deal would be best for what you are working with now. The intro deals have been broken down really fabulously, depending on whether you want the big bottles, depending on when you want the small bottles. All right, perfect. One question too that some people do ask is, what is the longevity of a bottle when it has been opened? It is around 12 months. And you would be surprised how quickly you will go through a bottle. especially once you start getting it rolling, and especially when you start getting it rolling for summer, and especially when you finally start telling your blondes, I can give you shiny hair. And it's gonna be shiny all the time. You're not gonna have to layer it down with Shine Spray for 48 minutes.
That's all.
Do you guys have any other questions? Did you get some good information out of this?
Yes.
Good. Okay. And then once you guys, of course, feel free to reach out to me. We are going to be having education constantly, and eventually we are going to be back into in-person education. And when we are back to in-person education, I really will encourage you guys, we'll talk you guys into popping in, seeing how it works, and we can work hands-on. Any questions you have, any videos you need with support, Brittany, I will get to you. Always reach out to me. Like, I'm always available on Instagram at Hair by Jessie Rae. We can video chats, we can set up FaceTimes, any questions you guys need, I am literally always there for you. And Brittany, I don't know if you had a question or not, but if you did, please feel free to unmute yourself. I'll give you a minute to do that. Maybe not. Hi.
Well, that was just the applause.
Oh, that was the applause. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. That was just lovely. Okay, you guys. Well, anything you need from this point forward, please let me know. Talk to your DSCs, see which intro would work best for you. And I just hope you guys lots of love and success and happiness with this product. I think it is going to really change things, and especially really do talk to your clients and say, you know, formaldehyde free. That is the best starting point with this, because that has been the biggest apprehension. You know, get little table talkers saying, you know, we're going to give you hair enrichment with acai, bioceramides, keratin, wheat germ, mustard oil. How does that sound? And it is all about your marketing, and they will love it. Fabulous. Okay.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
So much. I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Hopefully in person. That would be
Yes.
great. But if not, it is a wonderful virtual world, and always keep in touch. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thanks everyone for joining in the meeting as well.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Hi, Lisa.
And Irina, I see you. Okay, great.
Hi.
Hi,
Jessie.
Irina. How are you?
It was fantastic as usually. Thank you very much. Thank you. And we love your webinars and join always. I
Oh,
can introduce to you Rui from Portugal. Yes, Rui, you can ask Jessie whatever you want. And sorry that I so late to send you a link.
no.
And thank you. Rui, you see?
Yes. Thank you so much for joining.
Yes, and I
hope I-
see that more and more people join us on your webinars. Thank you, Jessie. You are the best, really.
Well, you are wonderful, and thank you so much for this. And I'm really excited. And also, I hope the little display we did.
It was great.
And then I'd love to talk to you guys about those little, like the little table talker pamphlets for salons. If we could get something like that put together.
Do you know, actually, we are going this week finally printed our crown book. And
Oh.
of course, we will send it to ESP, and all of you will have it.
That'd be great. Even
So-
little stick, anything that we can put around our salons that's just say, you know, talk to me about my crown. Anything along those lines, people will love.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
It is fabulous. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. And see you soon.
Happy Valentine's Day too. Okay, bye.
Bye.